Hey everyone, welcome back. Episode 6. We get to finish this bad boy. Try not to hit it with your elbow. Right here, we're going to keep going with this wonderful piece that we've got started already. As you already know, I'm not going to go through all the paints that I'm using. What I'm going to do is just have them posted on the screen somewhere, here, maybe here, I don't really care, somewhere. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and explain a lot of the techniques that we're going to be using. I've got my already used very dirty palette because, you know, I'm very clean that way. And I've got all my brushes that I've cleaned off again. And we're just going to keep going from where we left off at the last episode. And we're going to finish this. And I hope we have a lot of fun. And you know what? It's so easy to do. It really is so easy to do that you can impress so many people. They're just going to come in and be blown away by the work that you're doing. You can hang this on your wall and it's fantastic. It's definitely a place people can stop to talk and conversation piece, whatever you call it. And it's really great. And that's why I would love to see what it is that you've been doing, because to me, there's not a whole lot better than painting. So, all right. I mean, I love my family. Get that clear. Let's keep going. All right. So we have a lot of the dark color that we already did in the background. And we got a lot of this light color up here for our sky. It's very, very sun's starting to come up, perhaps. Got a clean brush here, and we're just gonna come right back down into here a bit. And we're gonna clean this all up. Why not? We're just gonna have fun. Nothing fancy, just to get our colors all blended. You know, it's still wet because it's oil. You can leave for a few days or whatever it is. I wear pretty well the same outfit. I shower. I swear I shower. It's true. All right, so let's keep going. What we want to do here is, because we got a lot of the colors that we already really, really want, but we're not done. I'm going to go into a little bit of a light color. I'm going to use my knife here. I'm going to pull some of this white out. I'm going to clean some of this up. Some of my sky color. I'll move it over. Get a little bit of yellow in there. And I'm going to a little bit more white. Mix it up. It's a little bit lighter than what I had over there. And that's what I'm looking for. Something a little lighter. Just like that. I'm going to take the brush. I'm going to just tap just half the brush, just like that. Just to load up half that brush, because that's all the part we want to use. It's full of paint. We're going to come through here, because what we're going to do is actually make a little bit of clouds, almost like we're reversing our sky, because there's a fog. Our lake is full of this sunny fog. So we're going to come down and we're going to, just like this, get more, very lightly, just like that. A little bit more. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep making these little deposits of cloud, of fog, ground fog. Get right up in there. There's a reason I'm doing it down like this. Just loading it up, putting it on, load it up, put it on, load it up, put it on. Leave it just like that for a little bit. Probably across like this. Yeah, that's nice. All right, once that's on, much like we normally do with our mist and stuff, but we're gonna just blend it in like it's a cloud. So we're gonna grab just underneath the edge we want, and we're gonna just mix it in very lightly with the bristle. Same dirty brush, nothing changing too much here. We're just gonna come down just like this. Now, full confession, I'm not a very educated artist. I'm not the best artist. It's just a passion of mine, and I feel that, especially during times of such uncertainty with everything going on, that sometimes people need a little bit of a break. Sometimes people need some way of venting. And that's not because I'm the greatest artist in the world or anything by any means, not even close. But I so love art that I need to share it with people. And this here is just something I can do. So just like we would normally do with our clouds, I'm just going to come right across very lightly across. We want the highs and lows. That's what we're looking for. All right. And we just blend it down. Blending it down, blending it down. This is more of the time-consuming stuff, right? Okay, so what we're going to move on to next is highlighting what we've already got going for us. Of course, we're going to need a little bit of yellow, lemon yellow, yellow ochre, medium yellow, or very yellow. And we're going to grab some of that white, just a little bit of the white. And once we start mixing, just like that, it's going to come up with a very rich color. Now, we're going to take some green that I've run out of, very little, and move that to the side. Grab more green. Don't forget to have enough paint on your palette when you start painting. Whoops. You just give it a squeeze. I put a lot on. You don't need to have a lot. If you're doing smaller paintings, by all means, don't load your palette up. I do a lot of painting. But I will be getting a sheet of plexiglass eventually, cutting it into this not as crude shape, and sanding it down and cleaning it up so that I can more easily clean it instead of having this mess. All right, so a little bit of that color back over here. I'm gonna grab more of that green. I want that green, I want it dark, because we're just gonna have a bit of a highlight. In fact, it's quite green, but it's got a little bit of a yellow in it. That's what I want. Yeah, we're gonna add a little bit of black, a little bit of burnt or raw umber, sorry, just to tone it down a bit, gray it out a bit. There we go. And if it's too gray or too something, you don't quite like it, you can go ahead and add just a little bit more yellows into it, more greens, whatever you need. You add what you need. It's your world, right? Yeah, that's the color I want. So this brush, it's a little bit dirty from the last job I just did. All right, clean brush, load that up. Once you pull it out, you can just tap it into the bristles. Tap it. It just needs to be thin on the palette. It doesn't have to have a lot of paint on the palette to be able to get the bristles to load up on that paint. Really want to load it in there and get it full. What we're going to do is where we've got all these trees in here, we're going to highlight them. Right where we know the sun's going to be coming in. And we're just going to tap. Just tap. And you shouldn't see too much. Like, we're closer. So we do see some of the branches, but we don't want to do too much. We don't want it too bright, because all we're trying to do is give the impression. Just the impression. And that's all. A little bit of the impression that we've got trees here. There's trees here. Load it back up. We're gonna come, maybe we'll start down at this end here. We're just gonna start just like that. For this part, it's gonna be a little too dark. So you know what I wanna do is I'm gonna actually grab some of that yellow, medium yellow and lemon yellow, mix it right on in there. Get those colors up there. Some of that color. Mix it in, mix it in, mix it in. I'm out of lemon yellow. I used it all. That's okay. Yes, perfect. It's a little brighter, just a hair bit brighter. All right, I'll just load it up again. I'm just using a bit of the edge, just to give some of the definition to the trees, right? Because there's trees all through here. So we're not going to get too excited. Just load it up. Don't be shy. Really get that out. So these are further back, just a little bit further back, and they're just there to bring some definition. So you know what we can do? To this, we're going to do a little bit something different here. We're going to grab some of that brown, the raw umber. Now my paints are relatively a dry paint. They're not actually a very wet paint, which is a good thing. And What do I want? A little bit of white. Bring it right over. Maybe just a touch of the yellow ochre. And tone it down a bit. There we go. We're going to add, leave it marbled, it's fine. Dark is okay. Spread it thin, put a little cut in it. You guessed it. We're doing some trunks. We're going to give a couple of these trees a few homes. You need to be grounded, right? Maybe they did something bad. I don't know. They are grounded. Maybe they got an attitude like my daughter. Just right across. But this is what really brings in a lot of that depth. You know what? Maybe there's a dead tree right in there. It's started to grow. Come across. I can just add a couple more. Oh, why not? Just have fun. We're just having fun. Eventually, as time goes on, maybe I'll sell a couple of these or be able to afford a few more gadgets. And then I can actually microphone myself up here. You'll be able to hear me a little easier. Same thing, keep coming. You can't make any mistakes. Don't be afraid to hurt your canvas. You're not going to. It's all good. Oops. Just get it right in there. You just want the illusion that there's some nice trunks in there. There we go. Go back to our lovely light color here. You know what, maybe I want a little bit more yellow in the next little couple bits here. So we're gonna go with a little bit more of that medium yellow, some of that lemon. And we're just gonna, oh, beautiful. That's what we want. This tree right here, it knows what it wants. It comes down. Same over here. Why don't we get that? That's the dead one. We have that dead tree right there. We're just gonna come down. Let's come back over here, add some color. Just a couple branches here and there. So remember, we don't want too much down in here, right? Because it's very dark down there. It's where all the critters are living. It's where everything's hiding. You know full well that that's where your game is living. You're about to go hunting and get it. And then just keep coming across here. Don't be shy. A little bit of yellow won't hurt. Nothing hurts. Can't hurt your painting. And just keep coming down and there we go. If you don't like the look of it, turn your brush around. Try tapping this way. I don't know. Have fun. Get that dark color in there again. We're just going right back to that dark, a little slightly darker green, away from that yellow. And then we come down. Oh, that's a big tree right there. Lots of color on that one. Of course, if it's sticking to your old painting that you had underneath, maybe you didn't give it enough time to dry or whatever, use a little bit of the paint thinner to bring it down. That's all we're doing. We're just getting some of it. Now don't forget, you want to keep a little bit of this because that's what makes us have that fog that's rolled in through our tree. Now on top, we're all good. There we go. Just down a little, down a little. Now, the joy of oil, what I really like about oil paints is that you can leave it. And you can come back, you can fix it. You know, maybe perhaps you don't really like something that's gone on it. Maybe you need to correct that issue. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use a little more yellow ochre in there. Just tap it. There we go. A little bit in there. Of course, there's a tree right in here. There's a bush right in there that we catching some of the light that's coming. Maybe the branches are a little bit darker in here. And we're going to pull down just a bit. Pulling down just a hair, get some of the colors. Because what we're gonna do, clean your brush just a little bit, get a little excess paint on it, and just beat that brush. And then come right on in and give that brush a wipe. Make sure there's nothing on it if you don't want. And we're just gonna come straight across. All we're doing is making it foggy. We want the impression that there is mist here. A lot of mist in here. Coming off of that water. Of course, we're gonna have to ground this a bit. So we're gonna take that light sky color that we used for the clouds down here. And come right back in and we're gonna tap all over again. Because we want it to get right in there. Really let this painting know, boss, I'm in charge here. We're not having a lot of water. It's not clear. We're a foggy day. Just like that. I'll just maybe pull it up a bit. Why not? See, the thing I like about painting, again, not just that it's my favorite, or one of my favorite activities to do, is that you can really do anything. You can make crap up as you go. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's no set technique to art. So you just pull up. Why not? Maybe there's something like this going on. Maybe that's how your fog's gonna go today. Maybe you really want an impression. But all I'm doing is just letting the bristles kind of touch it very gently. Nothing serious, because we still got to blend it in. We still want it to look like fog. But we just want it, we want it to get kind of foggy. I don't know what else to call it. A little paint thinner on that, and then right back into this color. And of course, you can actually blend it so much that it's all one color if you really want it. You keep going and going and going until you've had so much fun that you kind of forgot and lost track. And that's okay. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for you to have fun. Nothing more. Nothing else. Now just pulling up a little bit. Really blend it in and get that smoky look going. And just pull that color up. You want to pull that light color up. And it's the bristles, the marks in the paint that help make this more smoky. That's what helps. It's not just where the color is. You see these in person. When you're doing it yourself, you'll find that a lot of this foggy looking color is really just a lot of the bristles affecting it more than the color itself. And that's how you're getting all that beautiful tones and colors. But I'm not done. We're not done today. We're only at 18 minutes. Oh, it's starting to look really good. You can see right up in here that you've got a lot of this beautiful fog rolling in and it's coming off of the lake, but we still have some disconnect in here. We haven't really grounded everything down, and that's okay. That's what we're looking for. Because that means we have lots of work to do. So I'm going to use actually a fan brush. Just my little number 3. I'm just going to pull some spots here and there. All I'm doing is getting some of that in there. Giving the illusions of sticks and stuff, trying to poke through some of that fog. That's all. And remember, it's foggy. Not a lot of detail through the fog, right? But we're gonna add, maybe we're gonna add a couple islands. Maybe we'll add some trees, something big. Let's make some big decisions. We're not done. This isn't done. It's anywhere near done. Well, I like this side, but it could use something in here, right? Maybe do something in the middle. No, we're gonna come back over here. And we're gonna come back in here. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have fun. Let me get our dark color. You know what? Let's get some stone in there. Use that trunk color. If you're worried about it, right? If you think you have too much paint there, feel free to peel it all off. That doesn't blend in, and you can clean your knife off, add more color. Don't be shy, let's have fun. It's about being creative. You don't know what you're gonna have, you don't know what you're gonna get. Clean some of that color off. Clean your knife off. Pull some of that color back out, clean your knife clean. All right, we're gonna get some of this ground is what we want. There we go. Take that off. We're just scraping it. We don't want the excess paint. We're gonna use our brush to make it dark. That's all. Don't be shy. You can come down a little bit further on this side. Got more of that brown, dark tree color that we had. Maybe we come right out. Maybe just come right down in here. Okay, we just want it dark. A lot of dark happening in here. There we go. There we go. Well, it's kind of funny when you're, work for a bank and then you get to do this on the side for fun, and really get to vent and express a lot of what I want to get out of me all onto a canvas. So don't be shy. We're going to use a brush, probably that real dark brush that we had over here. Make sure it's loaded up, and I'm just gonna pull down and fill it in a bit. Pull it back. It's a little protruding rocks here that we got. We're just thinning out what we've got already there. All we're doing, just thinning it out. Just getting that dark color, all the dark colors. Just getting it all, putting it all on there. Darker the better if you can get it dark. You know what, even use some black, why not? Can't hurt your painting. Cannot hurt your painting. Can't express that enough. You can't hurt it. Have a lot of fun with it. So we're just gonna pull. We're gonna keep the edge. That's what we're trying to do. Right here. Don't be shy. Pull down a bit. And then just straight out. Straight across. The fog is picked up right in there. Same goes for over here. Get that dark color. Really bring it down. Sharp edge. Just like that. Of course, this is the time of spring, actually, that we're around, that our flies are starting to come out. I happen to have a mosquito attacking me. Right now, get out of here, mosquito. Maybe he's distracting a bit, but that's okay. Just get that dark color in there. A little darker. There we go. Just like that. Oh, that dark color. Don't be shy. Just having fun. You grab some of that raw umber, some of that dark color, and all we're going to do, add a little bit of white. Nothing fancy. In fact, we're going to add a touch of black to it. Now remember, black's real strong, but white is just as strong. Just mix it in. It's marbled though. That's what we want. Pull it flat, put a bead across, and just get your stone in there. And remember how we do stones. We just slide ever so lightly with our knife right over top. Once you pull it flat, you get a little bead on there. You just pull just like this. You can even pull it up from the bottom, but you don't really want to do that too much. I just have my canvases in the way, or my easel. So we're going to go a little bit backwards, and it pulls so that dark color behind it shows through, and that's really what we're looking for. Right like that. Now this is not all stone. We're going to come down with some bushes. We just like this. Maybe it comes down a little bit more like that in the front. It's all going to be bush. It's all going to have a lot of bush through here. It's fine. No, we didn't get this. Silly me. With the clean brush. It's water, right? There is water here. That's what we want. We want that color. All right. That's awesome. All right. We're running out of brown here. Raw umber. I'm running out of time for you folks today. I don't want to do another 58-minute video for you. And I'm not doing a 3-more-minute type thing either. So get some of that raw umber. I grabbed a little bit of the gray. That's okay. Maybe a little bit of that green. Of course, a touch of white and some yellow ochre. Just mix it in. A little more brown. Touch of black. Now, I haven't used any blue in this painting whatsoever. So it's kind of nice. If you can, like, say you're running out of a color, it's okay. You use what you've got. Think of something else. Skies are not always blue skies. And that's okay. Just come right down here. Just like that. That's what we want. We're just getting some trunks in here. Just like that. Of course, we're gonna have a friend over here. Maybe he's coming right out here. I'm just gonna scrape that right in there. Just like that. We're gonna make some evergreens here. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Why not? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Let's get a couple over here. No, you know what? Let's do these ones a little different. Big brush, dark color, lots of green, a little bit of black. Really mix it in there. Sharp point. Get our sharp point going. A little bit of a sharp point there. In fact, I need a little thinner. We're going over top of a lot of color here. I'm just going to make a decision. It'll just leave the one tree on this side. Make him a loner. Maybe he just needs to be alone. I know everybody needs friends, but not this guy. Maybe he doesn't want to be a friend. Let's go over here. Now I'm going to use a different brush. I'm going to go back to this one, which is one of my favorite brushes. This is an angled brush. And it's a 3/4 inch. We're going to get right into that dark green, right into that black. Those two colors, a little bit of brown in there because we want it dark. And just really mix it in there. Really mix it in. And we're just going to come right over here and tap it down. Just like this. All the way down. Over here, same thing. Maybe this one's a little different. Who cares? I hope you guys can hear me. I know it's kind of a difficult way to try to communicate, but all right. So we're going to leave that just like that for now. There we go. There's a couple extra branches over on this side. Nature's not perfect, right? Neither is our painting. All right, let's clean that off. It's probably the only time we're going to use that brush for a moment until we get the lighter color going. I'm going to clean some of my brushes. I know I take too long here. Sorry, guys. All right, clean your knife. Let's make some more decisions in here. Well, we need a trunk over here. Just like that. Let's touch up some of the trunk in here. So over here, I'm going to use that liner brush that I own. My 1-inch liner brush. We're going to grab our trunk color here and get some more paint thinner on there. We need it thin, 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 almost like water. Pretty much like water. And we're going to roll. Just rolling it in your fingers to get the tip loaded right up and right to a fine, fine point. That's what we're looking for. Coming out here, I'm just going to draw some branches coming down. Because it's heavy. Pine trees have that. They have a lot of heavy branches towards the bottom that kind of arc down. These ones do anyway. And that one comes right across. Don't be shy. Sparse. There we go. There's another one. We're not done. We're not done. We're close. We're so close. We can taste it, right? Everyone can taste it here. We're going to clean off a brush real quick. Beat that brush. Do a bit of a wipe off. We're going to get some of that lighter color right up in here. A little more yellow. There's a light color we made earlier. I'm going to load that brush up and get that green in there. Perfect. We're just going to tap it right on top. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to use a little bit of a light color here. Just have fun. And of course, down in here, right? Because we still have all this ground to finish, all this ground to cover. Just using a little bit of paint thinner so that the paint can sit on top. There we go. There we go. Did a little bit of the yellow ochre. I'm going to keep coming across here. We're almost done. Yes, I'm working backwards. I know. I know what I'm doing here. I am not ignorant of how I paint. And we're just gonna keep coming across here, like that. I'm gonna keep that same color paint, same paint we got going. Add a little darker green to it. Just down here. And we're gonna just load up the brush one side. We're just gonna start making a bush right in here. You can just add a lot more yellow or a lot of color, who cares? And just tapping it in there. And turn your brush, gives you different effects, right? It's not about tapping hard, it's not about hitting it, it's not about beating your canvas. It's just about having a lot of fun. Sometimes lighter is better. Gives you a different effect every time you do it. And you know what? There's a little bit of moss on there. Some mossy bits in there. Tap off some of that excess paint. I'll bring some of that paint thinner back down into the brush. And just get back into tapping. Add some more of those shrubs and bushes. There's a little bit of mossy bits in there. There we go. There's a little bit of a red bush in there. Why not? It's your world. Add some red. Something on fire in here. And you're following the land, right? You're following that land. Where are things taking you? And just like that. You just want to make sure that you get a lot of that color. Just like that. And there's some more red right in here. There we go. And same thing over here. Just pick up your color, what colors you want. Just like that. And get that paint thinner down and go for something different. You got a bush right in here. Well, that's a pretty bush. We're gonna get more of that green color. Maybe there's another little bush right in here. Now the screen in the bottom of the pail, in case you weren't aware, why I have a screen in the bottom there, is because you want all the solid paint to actually fall off your brush and into the bottom of the pail. And try not to flick paint thinner all over everything that you own, like I just did, which I now have to very carefully take off with painting that's behind here. Whoops, don't do that. All right, so we're gonna grab a lemon yellow if I can find one. There's a lemon yellow. Lemon yellow, found one. It has a stupid top on it. Oops. Just trying to get it all. A little bit more green in it. That's the color I want. Really load those bristles up. Pull in one direction, flip it upside down. Maybe there's a bush. There's a bush right in there. Look at this. A little more yellow in it. There we go. See, it helps when this is darker to be able to add more of your bushes, and that's okay. If it's not, It's your world. Fix it if you feel. For time's sake, I'm just gonna leave it. Maybe it'll come back later and just fix it up a bit. But I want a little bit of grass up in here. So maybe a little bit of moss in there. Of course, now we get to find all these little dark shrubby spots and pull up. We get to make all sorts of roots. Just like that. And just like that. Just like that. Add those roots in there. You need those, not roots, branches, trunks. And you want to go to where it's dark, where you'd see it at the base of plants. Right? Just the base of plants. Well, that's pretty. That's what we're looking for here. Now here's a bit of a trick. Make sure you have a clean brush, which I'm doing. Really clean, and then just wipe it off on a paper towel or cloth that you have. Now we still have this color here. I just want a little bit. I'm just gonna come across with it a little bit. All I'm doing is almost tapping it and pulling it to one side. And then it gives me a bit of the colors that I want. It's like the water is still trying to peek through that faint fog that's in there. And that's okay. That's what we're looking for. That's what we want. Just like that. Now we're not done. Don't you worry. We're not quite done. I know what you were thinking. Hurry up. I just need a little bit of water. There's a mosquito bugging me. There's that water that's trying to creep in there. A little bit down in here. A little bit still in there. And the same thing over here. And just almost like you're trying to cut your canvas. Use the knife almost like you're trying to cut the canvas, and it'll come right up. The mosquitoes are a miserable time of year, and it's not the nicest when you get the mosquitoes coming out, because, well, they like to have breakfast, don't they? They like to have lunch, and then they love to have dinner. And we just happen to be their meal. Oh well. I think that for now is pretty well what we've got, and I hope you've really enjoyed what we've done. You know, maybe you can throw, if you wanted to throw something else in there, maybe you wanted to throw in a little bit more. You know, definitely throw in a little bit more. Maybe you've got a touch bit more that you want to do in here. You know, maybe there's a moose coming in right over here, and that might sell. In fact, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll throw the moose in. I don't know. I just want to have fun. And I think going on an adventure, coming across an animal is just the right amount of fun that I wanted. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll add a moose. Let's add a moose. Just the silhouette of a moose, something dark. Something dark. Let's get some black, some raw umber. And maybe I'll change my mind. I can do that. I don't want a moose. Maybe I'll add a moose later. It's off camera. I can do that for my paintings. I'll just add some sticks in here. Just a little bit of maybe a dead branch. Something that didn't make the cut. Don't be shy. Make sure it's like water that you're working with when you're using your liner brush. Just something that peeks out right out through here. And just over here, same thing. Some dead shrubs. This is your world. You do what you want to do on it. You can have as much fun or as little fun as you want, making some of the best creative landscapes you've ever made. Anything you want. Your world. That's why I love it. It's your world. It's right out here. And I think we'll just have it. For now, we'll be done. I know I've said that like 14 times, but I think it's good enough to sign. So maybe we'll find a spot right here. All right. So I hope that you've really enjoyed this. It's a quite lengthy episode that I did. This is episode 6. You're looking at the second half of this thing that we did here. If you had any other suggestions, feel free to let me know. I'd love to see what you did. For now, let's just have fun and take care. And that is that lovely painting. We went for a hike. We found a lake early morning. Oh, and I added that moose I mentioned. There you go, everyone. Enjoy.